From Hollywood. Welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
So I'm digging through the Epstein files here looking for some juicy stuff to talk about, and oh my God, the Clintons are freaky deaky. I mean, freaky deek.
Who gives a rat's ass?
I don't think I can talk about this stuff and keep a straight face. From the Mojo studio on stolen land at Sunset and Vine, here comes another action-packed adventure.
Let's do it.
Here's what's on tap on the Wrap. Want to hear a 4-point plan to destroy the United States? Stick around. What happens when a snowball fight really isn't a snowball fight? And if you own sex toys, oh boy, you'll want to hear this one. The 2026 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees list is out, and I've got it for you. But get the Tylenol ready. You're going to need it. Another round of head trauma is on the way. The burning question is on deck, plus our usual lunacy and loose behavior, including TDK with a rocktail. And can I get a witness? I saw it on the X. It's coming up. That's what's happening today on the Rat's Ass Podcast for Thursday, February 26th. I thank you so much for pressing play. I was looking at our streaming stats yesterday, and I'm happy to announce that our audience growth is steadily growing quite nicely. Oh, it could go faster if you'd tell a friend about us. But I did notice we get more people checking out the episodes that are under 25 minutes than over. So Fleabag and I are going to make a conscious effort to try and trim it down and keep it under 25 minutes and see how that sets with you. All right, let's get into the wrap here. In case you haven't been paying attention, here are the sounds out of Times Square in New York City 5 times a day. Yeah, that's the Muslim call to prayer, and hundreds of Muslims come scurrying 5 times a day when they hear it. And they block up the streets in New York City's Times Square. But it's also to show strength. It's a signal to America that they're coming, and sure, Allah is coming with them. Yeah, these cockroaches honestly believe they're going to take over America, and they will if we let them. I mean, you look at what's happening in Europe and Australia right now. Here in the United States, look at Dearborn, Michigan, where they have a Muslim mayor. Like New York now with Zohran Mamdani. We tried to warn you, New York City. We tried to warn you, but you didn't listen, did you? But I do want you to listen to Dennis Michael Lynch, who has studied the Muslim ideology for 20 years, and he's concluded that Mayor Mamdani has a 4-point plan that will start in New York City and spread to other cities across America.
Mayor Mamdani has what I call a 4-phase plan. Number 1, make everybody miserable who isn't a Muslim. Number 2, economic decline at a huge rate and a very fast pace. Drive everybody to leave, except for the Muslims. And that's phase 3, where that all expands. Phase 4 is rinse and repeat in other cities. That is exactly what is happening.
So how do we stop it? I think the first thing is you got to get in the face of your state reps, email, phone calls, go see them in person, and start pushing them to pass laws that forbid people not born in the United States to run for office. The President of the United States must be born here, must be American-born U.S. citizen. So why should members of Congress and the Senate, governors, mayors? Because if you don't, you're going to have to be prepared to lock and load at some point, or the United States is going to get cooked. And we'll become what Iran has been for the past 50 years. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to prepare you and motivate you to go do something. Because if you just sit on your hands and wait for somebody else to do it, you're going to get surprised at some point. Now, a group of clowns thought it would be fun to start throwing loaded snowballs at the NYPD, who were just doing their jobs earlier this week when the blizzard hit in New York City. And you know what a loaded snowball is, right? It generally is a snowball that's packed like ice. Sometimes they put rocks in them. There were officers who were assaulted. A few were injured. Some got facial lacerations from getting hit in the face. But what did Muslim mayor of New York, Zohran Mamdani, call it? Oh, it was just a snowball fight. Just some kids having a good time, throwing snowballs at the officers. Oh, they loved it. Yeah, the officers are forbidden to act, by the way, or they risk losing their jobs. But based on the 4-point plan I just laid out for you, I'll bet my third nut Mamdani is hoping these cops get pissed off and quit. How much misery would that cause in a rapid way? Pay attention to New York City, my fiends. It's your preview of what's to come. There are 2,769 mosques already in the USA. I wonder how many are considered to be daycare centers like Minnesota, racking up all of our tax dollars, sitting in a vault. Think about it. Now, if you own sex toys, what a segue, huh? If you own sex toys from the Tenga company, a Japanese company, they were hacked, and chances are your personal information was hijacked. Tenga makes a variety of sex toys. Are you ready for this one? Mainly for men. Mainly for men. Okay? Over the past 20 years, they've sold over 1.6 million sex toys. Now, I imagine Sean Combs with his 784 dildos might have been their best customer. But anyway, if you deal with this company, they're recommending that you change your passwords. And you better hope your name doesn't end up on a dark web where your employer might find out that you're walking around the office with some bin wall balls shoved up your keister. I mean, why do men need sex toys anyway? I mean, Christ, I was born with the only one that I need. I mean, watch this. 10 hot. See? Right on call. The 2026 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees list is out. And I swear to God, they put these lists out so early in the year that they exclude the obvious choices and include a bunch of what the fuck so we talk about it. Free publicity. But here are the nominees. The Black Crowes, Jeff Buckley, Mariah Carey, Phil Collins, Melissa Etheridge, Lauryn Hill, Billy Idol, NXS, Iron Maiden, Joy Davidson, and New Order, New Edition, Oasis. There's Pink, Sade, Shakira, Luther Vandross, and the Wu-Tang Clan. Those are your nominees. So who's missing? The usual suspects. You know, I'm a little pissed the Runaways aren't there yet. Bad Company, Boston, Motorhead, Alice in Chains. Nah, they're not there, and I think you'll agree all five are deserving. But no, what do we get? Pink, Sade, Shakira. Yeah, we can have another discussion about that, but we're still waiting to find out when the induction ceremony is. It'll happen in Cleveland when it does, and we'll keep you posted. All right, since we're talking rock and roll, let's bring in TDK for a juicy rock tale today. TDK, what's up?
When a lead singer walked into a peep show and put $1 in the slot, he had no idea it would lead to a hit song. Back in 1982, the vocalist for a popular band found himself in an area of San Francisco known as the Tenderloin. And at the time, this area was filled with peep shows and massage parlors that could make you happy. As the singer walked down the street, he saw what looked like a phone booth with a sign on it that said he could see a woman who had lost all her clothing for $1. The rock star thought this was a good deal, so he went in, put $1 in the slot, and up came the window. And he was not expecting what happened next. When the window came up, in front of him was one of the most beautiful women he had ever seen. The singer then tried to convince her to join his band as a backup dancer, but she wanted nothing to do with him. Sophie Wabel of the Tubes told her, I guess I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, the Tubes used to play at a club close to me, and White Punk's on Dope, my favorite tune by the Tubes, but I have to believe it was inspired by that same frickin' story.
You know what they say, if you can't do it, you talk about it on a podcast.
Oh, yeah, okay. Thanks, Alexa.
Here's Mojo Elliott with his spin on sports on the wrap.
Oh, I used to do it good. I'm just a little out of my league now. The NHL resumed play on Wednesday night after the Olympic break that saw the U.S. men's and women's teams bring home the gold in hockey after beating Canada. My Pittsburgh Penguins got some bad news. Sidney Crosby's been placed on the IL for 4 weeks. That's going to hurt. Just like it did Team Canada. I mean, all teams have to deal with injuries. It's part of playing sports. But you got to think if Canada had said, maybe that gold medal is setting north of the border right now. College basketball is entering its final 10 days of the season. Then it'll be conference play, conference tournaments, and then we get into the big dance, March Madness. Are you ready? Saving your dollars up to play? Oh, yeah, we're going to have some fun with that here on the Rat's Ass Podcast. But as we head into the final 10 days, Duke is ranked number 1, Arizona number 2, Michigan 3rd, Iowa State 4th, and Houston is 5th. All right, let's see what gives on the chat box at ratsasspodcast.com. This one comes from Josh Harrison, Greensboro, North Carolina. He said, what do you think about Duke being ranked number 1? Bet you didn't see that one coming. I'd say enjoy it now. They play Virginia. They're rated number 11th. They're not an easy out. Duke could go down on Saturday, so enjoy it. Greg McMillan, Fort Worth, Texas. I'm starting to hear more rumors about the Raiders trading Max Crosby to the Cowboys. What are you hearing? Well, I'm hearing two different sides of the fence. I'm hearing on one side of the fence that Crosby will be with the Raiders this season. They fully expect him to be in training camp. Another side of the aisle says they expect him to get traded for draft picks so the Raiders can fill out their roster and save a bunch of money. All I can say is we just got to sit around and wait to see what happens. But I got to tell you, I've seen it. You saw it last year with Anthony Davis and Luka. You get the right trade together. If the offer's perceived to be sweet enough, there is no player who is untradeable. And that's my spin on sports today on The Wrap.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, today I'm going to hit you with the burning question. All you have to do is fill in the blank. 76% of women say they will not date a man who has a blank. 76% of women say they will not date a man who has a blank. All right, you think about it, and I'll have the answer for you coming up.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
All right, let's head over to the X feed. A catch. I saw it on the X. This post comes from Benny on the Block. He said, okay, gentlemen, be honest. Who was your 80s crush? So I went through the top 100 answers and tallied this up to get you a top 3. Number 3 is Christy Brinkley. You might remember her from Vacation in the Ferrari. Yeah, she was a naughty hottie. Michelle Pfeiffer was number 2. She was in Scarface, Witches of Eastwick in the 80s. And number 1, I think she's undefeated. Every time I see one of these lists every so often, Phoebe Cates is always number 1 from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Man, you just can't beat that fantasy in the pool scene, can you? Now, mine wasn't those. Mine was Bobby Brown, Bobbie, not the singer. She was in the Warrant video Cherry Pie. Now you know who I'm talking about, right? She was on the cover of Great White's Twice Shy album. I mean, God, what she could do with a lollipop. Oh, my God, it was frickin' heaven. Frickin' heaven.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
All right, we start with some sad news today. Robert Carradine, who played Lewis in The Revenge of the Nerds and had a thing for panty raids like me, he passed away at the age of 71 from suicide. Robert has been suffering from bipolar disorder for the past 20 years, and it finally got him, same as it did Robin Williams. And he took his own life a few years ago. The only thing I can surmise is that the guy had to have been a world of hurt. I can't understand it because my head isn't in that space. But how do you go 71 years and decide to check out now? He would have been 72 next month. And by the way, to honor Robert, I am wearing girls' underpanties on my head right now. May he rest in peace. All right, Microsoft founder Bill Gates admitted that he had affairs with 2 Russian women during his 27-year marriage to Melinda Gates. Yeah, not 1, but 2. I don't know if we should salute him or not. You've seen Bill Gates, right? I know he paid for it. But the Russian women said after having sex with Bill, they understood why he called the company Microsoft. All right, congratulations to Jelly Roll's wife, Bunny, on being the number 1 seller on the New York Times bestsellers list for her book, Stripped Down, Unfiltered, and Unapologetic. Now, I wonder if she outlines how Jelly Roll wiped his tuchus before he lost all that weight. I mean, we all want to know. This is the big mysteries. And when somebody is that big, how do they reach around and, kind of spruce up the tuchus there just a little bit? How does that happen?
That's just about enough of that.
Okay, I'll be good. California slumlord Governor Gavin 960 Newsom also released his book called Young Man in a Hurry. It debuted at number 45. They're already marking down the price. Get the paperback ready. Yeah, but I bet poor Gavin is sitting with a stack of Wonder Bread right now eating mac and cheese, because that's just the kind of guy he is. He's just like us. And that is a normal slice of celebrity cheese for you today.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, this is where anything goes. When you send your questions, comments, and observations to my producer, Fleabag at ratsaspodcast@gmail.com. Hey, Fleabag, when is Puddin' starting? When are you going to bring him in? Next week? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, Puddin' is going to be Fleabag's assistant. And then I'm sure that he'll need an assistant, and he'll need an assistant. You know how this works, right? All right, Kenny L., Burlington, Vermont. What was your overall opinion of Trump's State of the Union address? Well, I think Trump missed a golden opportunity, to be quite honest with you, to flip this whole narrative that he promised to bring prices down on day one. Democrats have been pounding on him over that statement for the last year and couple of months. And I felt he could have reframed it, and just wiped that whole thing out by saying, listen, I know I said I'd start bringing prices down on day one. What I meant was I would start working on getting prices down on day one. But it's going to take some time. I inherited this huge mess. So you got to give me some time. We got the egg prices down. We got the gas prices down. There's still more to come. I think that would have helped him a lot better than just saying, we're in the golden age. So I'd give him about a 7 on the 10 scale. Sherry K., Jacksonville, Florida. On your blog, you have a list of zodiac signs ranked by sexual performance. I'm curious to find out what zodiac sign you are. Well, I'm a Libra, and I share a birthday with that scumbag Bruce Springsteen. And that's why I don't put a lot of merit in the zodiac signs. Same birthday, 2 completely different types of people, and I think you'll agree. Alex B., Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I liked the answer you gave the lady on Monday about how to answer the question, tell us about yourself in a job interview. So how would you handle the one, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Well, again, it's always the same. When you're in an interview for a job, you want to make it about the job that you're going for. You know, a lot of people will have this dream, well, I hope to be president of the United States of America in 5 years. No, that's not what they want to hear. They want to hear your grand vision for yourself. My intentions are to be still working here and excelling enough to either move up and take on more responsibility or potentially even move into a leadership position, should an opportunity present itself, because you don't want to come off threatening the person that's interviewing in case they're your boss or soon to be your boss, okay? So again, my intentions are to still be working here, excelling enough to either move up, take on more responsibility, and maybe potentially moving into a leadership position should an opportunity present itself. That's all you have to say to that question. All right, Brock L., San Luis Obispo, California. And oh boy, we got ourselves a dating dilemma today.
Well, isn't that special?
Oh, yes. Brock says, I've been dating 2 guys a little more than a year, and the one I liked the least asked me to marry him on Valentine's Day. And I said yes. So I'm assuming Brock is a female here. Anyway, she says, I still haven't told the other guy yet. How do I tell him I'm getting married when he has no idea I've been seeing the other guy that I'm going to marry? Oh, boy. I don't know how you ladies get yourselves in messes like this. I just tell him you've met somebody else and you want to see where it goes. And you want to see him and you don't want to see him anymore. Okay? He doesn't need to know you're going to be hitched to someone else. You're not lying. You're just not being completely forthcoming with all the details. And plus, he doesn't need to know that you've been sharing the same ditch with another soldier for more than a year. That's just not fair to the poor guy, all right? So that's what I would recommend. All right, who's calling me on the rat phone? Let's find out. Hey, it's Mojo. Go.
Hey, bro, let me ask you a question.
Yeah?
If McDonald's sold hot dogs, would you be able to, with a straight face, order a McWeenie and tell them to supersize it?
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, did you figure out today's burning question? 76% of women say they won't date a man who has a blank. 76% of women say they won't date a man who has a blank. All right, if you said a small Jimmy, you're wrong. It's a truck.
Yeah, baby.
Is that what you said? If you got it right, congratulations. But if you missed it, go see your doctor about a head trauma and get well soon. Okay, I got to get out of here. I'm going to go off to get a big, fat Italian sub from my man, Jersey Mike's, where I always get it Mike's wife's way, which means extra meat. But first, let's do, is it real or is it riffraff? All right, the most children born to one woman is 69. She had 69 kids. She had 16 twins, 7 triplets, and 4 quadruplets. Alexa, is this real or is it riffraff?
This is 100% real, and she was known as Fertile Myrtle.
Any idea who the father was?
Who knows, probably Nick Cannon or some basketball player.
Funny. That was a little racist, though, don't you think?
Are you kidding? That was a lot racist.
So if you knew it was racist, why'd you just say it?
Because I grew up in the hood, bro.
Yeah, sure you did. Next door to Gavin Newsom, right? All right, welcome to Rat Nation. Jake Cummings, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Mike Luzander from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Renee Wilder from Cambridge, Massachusetts. And Bernie Bernard from Richmond, Virginia. And around the world to listeners in Montreal, Canada, Melbourne, Australia, and Luxembourg, Germany. And look at that, look at that. We did this sucker in under 20 minutes. Maybe I'll just hold it back so we hit the 20-second mark, or 20-minute mark. What do you think?
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
All right, that's it for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Go to ratsasspodcast.com to visit our hub to listen to previous episodes. Read the blog. It's loaded with lots of hot topicality. Watch Rat's Ass Rock TV. Join the mischief at Rat Nation. And connect with us on the socials. We'll do this again on Monday, March 2nd. That's right, this was the last one of February. Take care of each other, and thanks for stopping by the Rat's Ass Podcast in association with the Oz Podcast Group.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.
And hot.